As global pressure mounts on Pakistan to act against terror groups, the country's caretaker government is reviewing a draft action plan for submission to global bodies committed to curb money laundering and terror financing. The Financial Action Task Force is meeting on Friday and will discuss putting Pakistan on the grey list, which is the first step towards imposing sanctions. Pakistan government review of the draft action plan comes 2 days before the submission of the Commons to Asia Pacific Group meant to tackle money laundering. Pakistan is also required to submit its action plans to Financial Action Task Force. Islamabad faces huge pressure to avoid being listed by global terror watchdog FATF over its failure to tackle financing of terror groups. The FATF will decide Pakistan's fate later this month. If FATF is not satisfied with Pakistan's draft plan, Islamabad could be placed on the list of the countries that financially abet terrorism. But what is FATF? The Financial Action Task Force is a global terror watchdog that was established in 1989. The FATF aims to curb money laundering and act against terrorist financing. FATF is considered to be a policy-making body and has developed a series of recommendations over the years. These recommendations form the basis for a coordinated response against the country in question. Once recommendations are made, FATF then monitors the progress of its members. FATF's decision-making body is the FATF plenary, which meets thrice every year. And I'm joined by our correspondent Taha Siddiqui from Paris, where the FATF meet is due to take place. Taha, my question to you is that how serious is this issue this time?
Well, in Pakistan, we're seeing that definitely there is a lot of concern when it comes to Pakistan being put back on the blacklist. And basically, we've seen how, in the last few months, ever since Pakistan was warned that when the review comes up in June, it will be put on blacklist. Pakistan has been taking some measures, but whether or not these measures are cosmetic, that is what one sees, and one observes that basically because in the past also Pakistan has claimed that it will be taking some measures when it comes to counterterrorism financing cases and also money laundering. But on ground, when we see the activities of those proscribed organizations, we see them continuing to operate in the country, continuing to have offices in the country. Recently, we saw, for example, one of the main organizations that Pakistan has to act against is Lashkar-e-Taiba, and now Lashkar-e-Taiba has reincarnated into Falai Insaniyat Foundation and Jamaat-ud-Dawa, and the Pakistani government has claimed that they have taken over the offices, but from what we understand on ground, the sources tell us that this is more of a cosmetic sort of measure, like we saw earlier when Hafiz Saeed was house arrested, but despite that he was running the organization. Another aspect of all of this is the Haqqani network, which is basically based out of the Pakistani and Afghan tribal belt. Now Pakistan continues to deny its presence on Pakistani soil, whereas the ground reality tells us otherwise. So in that sense, we're seeing that Pakistan is sort of saying that it wants to seriously tackle this issue, but at the same time, we do not see any measures beyond cosmetics.
Thank you, Taha. Thank you for this update. Now.